21st of November 2012, around 10,000 people gathered in the centre of London to protest against the increase in student fees to £9,000 a year. This protest was organised by the National Union of Students and it was supported by the University and College Union.
Unrest that we've seen in London, but there has been other unrest throughout Europe. And the backdrop of this is that extraordinarily David Cameron, the Prime Minister, has agreed an increase in the amount of money that Britain gives to the European Union every year, an increase of around $700 million. It's also been suggested that by an MEP, an EU negotiator, who says that there are hidden costs involved in that as well, and that the rise in membership fees for the European Union essentially won't just be 700 million, it will be upwards of $1 billion. Now,
we interviewed a few people to find out their views on the increase.
How do you feel about student fees?
I think that the fact that they've got more is not acceptable, because unless the courses are going to up their game and make sure that you've got all the materials you need, all the teaching time that you should be getting, all the help that you need, everything like that, which isn't changing, which should be changing, seeing as you're paying more, you should be getting more from it.
Do you think there's been a rise in university standards as a result of the increase?
Across what, the educational part of
everything, yeah.
To be honest, I don't think anything would necessarily have changed, because it's more of a status quo. My understanding is that the difference in the funding is there purely to make up for the loss of money that the government are putting in. So you're not, although you're paying more, all that is doing is you're paying what the government didn't pay before. So I don't think there's any more gone in, but probably the expectation, certainly I think, of students has got higher, because they're seeing that they're paying 9,000 against 3,000 before.
Mm-hmm. How do you feel about the student fees?
I feel that the student fees, for me, it's not a problem. I suppose they could be cheaper, but if they were cheaper or if they didn't exist, then everyone would be going to uni. And there's not that many great jobs where a degree helps you have that job, for one. And I think there should be not a sort of a social divide between who can and can't go to uni, but I think the kind of jobs that people get when they leave uni, people with certain mindsets should go for those jobs. So personally, I see university as a business. I see myself as a business, and you can't make money without spending money. So this is just how I see it. I'm spending money now, so in the future, I'm going to make more money. It's that simple for me.
Questions from anyone? All right.
Do you believe you'll get us out of recession?
Yeah, I do, because I think what's going to get us out of recession is some confidence, and at the moment there isn't confidence in our economy.
Sorry, not being rude, but what makes you different to giving us confidence in Gordon Brown?
Because we're going to deal with the debt quicker. He's saying, put it all off. We're going to have to take some difficult decisions. We're going to have to freeze the public sector pay, because the public sector's had a better time than the private sector, and we've got to start paying down that debt money. And if we don't do it, I think we're going to have more of a problem. We could end up like Greece, you know, where the debts get bigger and bigger and bigger, the confidence goes and the economy doesn't move again.
If we get a novice, we'll end up like Greece. We need an experienced Prime Minister right now to lead us through our hard
Well,
times.
we've got it. We've got an experience. all right, one at a time. And to the gentleman who says we need some experience, I say we've had his experience. And what did it give us? The longest recession since the war, the deepest recession since the war. It hasn't worked. We've had the experience. It's time for change.
I believe change is to the everyday person. This recession has not affected the everyday man and woman like the early 80s recession caused by your predecessor Margaret Thatcher. This feels not nice, and it's not that bad.
I think you find a lot of people would say this recession has been bad. We've got record youth unemployment. We've got more people coming out of universities not able to find a job.
Look how big the population is compared to back then. Unemployment is only at 2 million now. We expected 3 million.
Unemployment is at 2 million, but if you look at the people,
And everyone's been saying 3 million.
if you look at the people, okay. Other questions? I'll come back to you, sir. Are there any other questions?
Do you think the fees are worth the education they're providing now? Do you think the fees are worth it?
No, I wouldn't say. Particularly at this university anyway, when like contact hours are like, well, for me anyway, I've had about 5 hours a week for the past 2 years. So like, I mean, thankfully I'm not paying £9 grand. But if I was, like, I would not be happy with that. But I guess it depends on what university, like what course you're at.
How do you feel about the student fees?
Well, I think it's unfair that it went up pretty much 3 times. And people don't want to go out and take out loans of 27 grand and end up with massive debt. So basically, I think that education should be affordable to everyone and you shouldn't have to struggle to get a degree.
Do you think that parents of students have had a concern on in terms of the student fees going up? Because obviously some parents are paying for their children's education, and do you think maybe it's affected parents at the universities and concerned parents that probably...
Yes, quite definitely, because even though tuition fee loan from student finance is not based on a household income, you have to meet requirements like residency. But people who want to self-fund and they don't want their children to end up at the age of 21 with loads of debt, they want to pay for them. But we have loads of parents calling and coming in and saying, oh, this is so much money, I don't think we can afford that. So there's definitely loads of anxiety around that as well.